Okay, so this is the workshop GitHub repository. Let me put it in the chat window, just make sure everyone have it. Oh, it looks like well, the TA also put it there. So to download this entire folder, you can click on this green icon code. There you have two options, open with GitHub desktop or using this file. In fact, you can also, if you are familiar with Git, you can also use command line, but we are going to skip that. So the easiest way is just download everything in zip file. So if you have the GitHub desktop, you can also do that. And this is a public GitHub. So if you actually don't want to do this on your own computer, you can also use a cloud version of RStudio. And there you can also cloning the entire public GitHub into the cloud RStudio. So, and that way you don't have to worry about whether you want to install something on your own computer or not. This actually may be also useful if you work in a computer lab and the lab does not allow you to install RStudio. So if you are using a computer, you don't have the right to install things. This is also another way. This is Cloud RStudio offered for free.
Dr. Chin, could you show how to put a link there and then get a from
Yes, let me see. So I think you need to start with a new project.
And there is a drop line. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think there is something you have to click on it to put a link there.
Yes, you have to clone the GitHub. It's a free one, so it's a bit slow. Yeah. All free things come with us, not very fast, I guess.
So when they click on your workspace and the new project, there is a drop menu on the right side. You click on it and it says new project GitHub, and you can copy the link there. And then
I'm trying to.
Yeah, there is a drop menu. Yeah, and you.
Oh, here, new project from Git repository. So I should click on that, and then you just paste the link there. So, and then okay, it's going to clone the entire GitHub repository into the RStudio cloud version. So, thank you, Mira. In fact, I also tried. In fact, you can actually. My workspace is also public. You can actually directly copy my RStudio workspace, but we can skip this one now. So, okay, so this is the R Data Science Coding Bootcamp sponsored by National Science Foundation. And it's in collaboration, it's a collaboration between University of Tennessee at Chattanooga and Tuskegee. We also have two other partners. I think Tuskegee is this red, UTC is this gold. This light blue is the Spelman College. This deep blue is the West Virginia University. So that's the icon we have, all the logo we have. So we hope you have done the anonymous pre-survey. We are going to use R for this coding bootcamp. R is probably the most popular language in academia for data science. In industrial, it's Python because Python has many other like web programming or deep learning related features. So, And R is a open source software. And you can download it from cran.rproject.org. And typically there are 3 different versions: Linux, Mac, or Windows. R is actually developed on the Unix system with C language. So Unix is actually its native environment. Rstudio is basically a GUI interface to use R. So you have to install R first and then install Rstudio. And Rstudio is not open source, but there's a free version. There's also a cloud version apparently. So once you install Rstudio, you will see interface. Oh, I have not opened Rstudio yet. So once you have the Rstudio open, and this is actually an interface very similar to MATLAB you have used before. You can also change the layout of those windows. So, by default, there will be a window called for our code, and there's also another window to show the running result. And there's a window to show the current so-called environment. And that's where the R and Rstudio will remember the variables or the data we have been loaded into the R. And then there are also another window to show plot files or help information. So if I go back to the current Rstudio, so the one I'm circling, that's where we have the code, and the one at the bottom, that's where the running result will be. And the environment, right now there's nothing there. And then the help information at my lower right screen. The way we are going to conduct this bootcamp is a practice called participatory line coding. So my view and is coding is just like is a skill, so you need to practice. Like the way if some of you have practiced the music instrument, you will know music instrument. They are music theories, but you really need to practice to be good at it. And programming, data science, and coding, in my view, is just like when you're trying to learn a music instrument, you just have to practice. So, and because we are doing this on the Zoom, when you need help, how do we deal with that? So on the Zoom, there are if you in the newest version of Zoom, there's a reaction. If you click on that reaction, there are raised hand. I think in old version they are red and green, but somehow now those disappeared. But you can raise your hand, and then a TA will if you see you raise your hand, a TA will contact you, and then hopefully the Zoom breakout room will function today. And I have opened up actually 15 breakout rooms, and should be good enough for most. So the way to join the breakout room on Zoom is also a little, it's not very intuitive. So once you see the room, you see the participant is 0. The way to join those breakout room is just hover your mouse to that a participant, and then that join letter will appear. and then you click join, you can join that room. I hope in future version the Zoom will make this more intuitive. So yeah, apparently right now this is how it works. So once you see the breakout room and you put your mouse on the number next to that breakout room, and then you can join those rooms. So, and to do that, in fact, you don't have to need help. If you want to work on your own, you can go to a breakout room. That way, it's almost like a private study room. You don't have to listen to me talking. So, yeah. Okay, so this is how we plan to use breakout room and TAs to help you troubleshoot during the bootcamp. So, okay, so now we are going to the basic coding and Rstudio usage. You can, so once you download the entire code file, there is a module 0, module 1, module 2, 3, 4. We're going to start with module 0. Module 0 actually very simple. We have the PowerPoint, which is a PowerPoint I'm using right now. And then we have something called Simple R.rmd. Hopefully on Windows and Mac, if you double click that, maybe it will open automatically in Rstudio. If not, you may have to open, specifically say open with Rstudio. If you still have trouble, you can actually go to File, Open File in Rstudio, and then just open that file directly. So in this case, you have to find out where you download it and then click that Simple R, open it. I already have it open, so it's okay. If this is on Rstudio Cloud, apparently the file show on the bottom right, sorry. And then you click the module 0, there's a Simple R. Oh, it actually, I just click Simple R, it seems to also open automatically. So it's good. So this is something called the R markdown file. So you see here, there are many different file formats Rstudio support. By default is something called R script, which is just code. But we are going to use something called R markdown file. This is the reason why we are using this is because it had several blocks. The R markdown file, it has the so-called coding chunks or coding blocks. Those are actually in here. So not a 3 single apostrophe sign. So a single quote. And then followed by another 3, and there's a curly say R. This is for a chunk of R code. And on the right, top right corner of this chunk, you actually can see there's a green triangle, which means run this chunk. And you can also, there are other options like run above, run below. And that's actually a header information. I'm going to go over it later on. And this in between, those are called, oh, it seems to be my letter is very small. Can I increase my font? Okay, so I increase my font a little bit. Okay. So this is actually basically the text area. So, or you can, or maybe comment section. So, and once we run this and then there will be result part. So if I click this green triangle there, and then you see the running part. So the reason why we like R Markdown for education is because you have the code and then the result right next to it. So this is also good, especially good for data science, because data science is really an interactive work, right? You analyze data, you want to see the result. If it doesn't make sense, you want to modify your analysis, revise your analysis, right? So R Markdown, or actually, in a way, this is kind of a very similar to Jupyter Notebook, which is traced all the way back also to Mathematica. So yeah, the Mathematica also had a notebook. That's probably the first notebook I learned of. And then Python came out with a notebook. And then you have the Rstudio Markdown file. Sorry, that's just my guess. I don't know who actually came out with the idea first. So now, let me follow my slides, finish how the R Markdown and Rstudio can be used. So on the Rstudio interface, it's also convenient when we try to run code and try to modify code. And it has something called, on the running window, on the top right corner, you see run. There's a tab called run, and there's a triangle next to it. If you click that triangle, it gives you well, almost 10 or 8 or 9 options. Run selected lines, run current chunk, run next chunk, run setup chunk, run all chunk above, run all chunk below, restart R, run all chunks, restart R, clear output, run all. Basically, you can actually experiment to see how it works. And it's actually very useful doing data analysis, because sometimes we want to rerun everything. There's one tricky issue for interactive data coding in data analysis. Sometimes you may run the same code twice. And in some cases, if you run code once or run it twice, the result will be different. Right? So and because it's interactive, sometimes we don't remember how many times we have run a particular line. In that case, it will be easier, we just rerun everything or rerun everything before. So you can, in that case, you can highlight a line. So in this case, I highlight this line, I just click, say, run everything above, run all chunk above. So then I make sure I only run everything, I have run everything exactly once before this. So
Dr. Chin, some people they have a problem to import a file from GitHub to Rstudio. Can you just quickly mention
that? This is on people's local computer?
Yes, apparently they're on local computer. People are still, yeah.
Okay, let's. Can someone share your screen? I'm going to let people. You actually can share. Can someone with the problem share your screen? So since there are a few of them, so we can all see this problem. And someone who is having?
I think Georgie and Fawn.
I could go ahead and share my screen on how to import them, if that would help.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So I am on a Mac, but all I did was, so once you download the zip and extract it, you can click File and then Open. And I just clicked on it like this.
Oh, there's one thing on Windows. Windows does not automatically extract the zip file. You need to intentionally extract all the file in the zip file. Otherwise, RStudio cannot open the file inside a zip file. On Mac, apparently Mac automatically expand all the zip files.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I moved this as a shortcut. It's probably going to be in your downloads, and you'll have to find that. And
I think on the Windows, they have a right click on the menu, and then they give you option to unzip it as well.
Yes, yeah. Who is using Windows? Can someone share your screen?
I am.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Very good, thank you. So can you show us how did you open this file?
Yes, I went to open file and I had these already unzipped using the zip extractor. And I just clicked on this as the TA just showed us. I clicked on this file here, which is, I believe, the one he opened. And a second. And this information populated here in this field.
Mm-hmm. Very good, thank you.
That's good. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm trying to see. Is there a way we can see who raised their hand? I don't see anyone raise their hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we move forward, or we still need a bit time to make sure everyone have the file?
It's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to open the file because at first I could have sworn I downloaded it, but when I opened up the RStudio, it says continue downloading. I didn't know it stopped.
Is it Monique?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know what happened because I just tried to open it and it just said, but now it's done now, but I just don't know what happened.
Oh, I see.
Why I did that.
Monique, can you work with Miran? Can you Monique? Can you join a breakout room? Make sure. Can you click the first breakout room? Join there.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, Miran, can you go to the first breakout room? Help Monique. Whoever, which TA. Okay, I see Monique in the first breakout room now. Can a TA also join there?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, whether you can help her. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go back, share my screen again. So that's about the RStudio, how to run selected lines. You can also, well, how do we editing? So the editing is actually very small icon. So on the top right, next to that up triangle, there's the green C plus with the plus sign next to it. That's actually the way you can actually insert a chunk of code. Apparently, RStudio actually supports several different versions of code, all in the same file. Typically, we are using only R, but RStudio actually supports a few other languages as well: Bash, E3, Python, C++. Apparently, that's a C++ version for R, look like SQL and also Stan something. And so if I go to the top, let's say I'm going to insert a new R. There, you see this, and with the single hyphen, and then you can type something. Let's say what print hello world. And then we can, hello world. And R can be just use a calculator. In fact, that's what the first simple calculation. Let's say what's what 99 divided plus 2 plus 1. Simple calculation, right? So plus minus division at the forward slash. Multiplication is a star. So, and the power exponential is 3. That's the square power. And R also have a few keywords. For example, pi. That's a keyword in R. So the square square of the pi is basically similar to 3.14 times 3.14 again. So if I click the right green triangle, it's going to run this. Yeah. Anyone have trouble with this?
I have a question. Do we have to put brackets around the words? The hello world, I was trying to input that. Do we have to put the brackets around the and quotes around it?
You have to put quote. Sorry, yes, good point. That's a string. Yeah. Otherwise, it will be treated as a variable, and then probably give me an error. Let's see if I do that. Yeah, and then unexpected single in hello world. Otherwise, it's going to think it's a variable. So good point. Thank you. So if I put you can't actually put a single quote or double quote, but it has to be consistent. So if I put a single quote, yeah, that still works. Although by default it's double quote. But R actually is not a very strict syntax. So I didn't even put the semicolon near the end, but it's still okay. So if I put semicolon at end of line, it's also okay. But if I don't, it's also okay. So yeah. So this is a bit different from many other languages like a C or Java. Will be different. So it looks like I finished on my slides. And then we just go over the simple R. So this will be 3 times 3 by minus 2. Those are. R also can do say log operation, log 10, and exponential e to the some power. So if I run this, so this will be so the result at the bottom, like log 10, 100, that's 2. So the one I'm highlighting right now at the lower window. So exponential of pi, 23, maybe that sounds right. Exponential of 0, that's 1. Okay. Square root, SQRT. Square root of pi is 1.7 something. That's also sounds right. Square root of 100, that's 10. Right. And 100 to the 0.5 power, that's basically square root. So it's 10. That's correct. Okay. There is also a very convenient feature in RStudio called knit. So this is actually goes back to my title information. There I say output HTML, and topic of content is true. Topic of content float is also true. This is there because if I say knit as a report file into the HTML, if I click that, if this is the first time you are running this, it's probably going to ask you to install some file. And this is going to generate an HTML report with a floating table of content. Unfortunately, RStudio's own browser doesn't look very nice on this. So you have to open in browser with your default browser. In my case, I use Google Chrome. And then you can see a much better layout. So in this case, it basically runs everything in a simple R markdown file, but also has the table of content floating there. So if so this is a simple calculation we have just gone over. Right, so you have the code and the result at the bottom for each chunk. So, and then we also I think I didn't mention this explicitly. The pound sign, if it's inside our code, it actually means it's a comment. And the comment is not going to run as the actionable code. So that means if I want to, this is actually a good way for debugging. So if I comment this line of code, then that 10 minus 7 won't be executed there. So if I comment this one, it's just gone. So it's a very convenient way for debugging for those who are new to programming languages. And R can be used a calculator. So there, pound sign, that means the comment. This is just a square. So 3 to power. So, let's see. R can also have the vectors and all arrays. I think in R it's called vector, in Python it's called list. I forgot what other language I call it. So, yeah. So in this case, for example here, also another thing is the equal sign. R can use both equal sign or this kind of less than plus the hyphen of the assignment. So this is also okay. The one I'm highlighting now. So this less equal sign plus a hyphen, that also means assignment. Or equal sign also means assignment. So R is a very flexible language. So 5 to 9, that will assign a vector to X. So let me go through that. You can also minimize those lines, minimize those chunks in RStudio. That way you can skip. You will have a more bird view of your code, I guess. That's it. In this case, yeah. So I now looking at this vector part. So I'm assigning 5 to 9 to X. What it means is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For those who are using other language, you see this 9 is inclusive. So R is inclusive, which is quite different from Python. Yeah. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 numbers. 9 is also there. So 1 to 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then there's actually an interesting one. What do you think the first element of X and Z is? Is it 0 or 1? So if I say X1, what do you think that number will be? Is actually 5. So the first element of a vector in R is 1, not 0. So that's for many of you have used other computer languages. So that's actually quite a difference. And for this is actually if you use R, Python, Perl, or many other language interchangeably, sometimes this can give you some errors when you forget. that means it's easily to make a mistake. When we're switching, when we do data analysis, we forgot which one is the first, which one is the second. So unfortunately, that's just the part of life. So R decided the first element is 1, while Python decided the first element is 0. So, yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. So that's the vector. So in a way, colon. The colon also means a range. So if I just say 3, right? So 1 to 15 is 1 to 15. That automatically give you a vector of integers. So, and we can also check the length. There's a lot of built-in function in R. Length is a function from the basic package. So if we say length of x 3 to 10, that's 8. So there are 8 elements in this vector. And probably the most important function in R or many other languages is a help function. So if you never used length before, you can use help to look at the length. And in R, there are also a few shortcuts. You don't have to type help. You can also type the question mark. That will be almost the same thing. So if I just say question mark length, that's actually give me the same thing. And you will see the help information is actually now at the right bottom corner, right bottom window. So that's the help information of the length. So apparently in R, everything is also an object. So X is actually an object of a vector. So, and length of X, it just returned how many elements in that vector. So, and you can also see RStudio actually give you some automatically pop-up information. Right, so if I, in this case, if I just question, it actually pop up what do you want to. So you can actually use your mouse, highlight just finish. If you just tap it directly, it's going to. If you use the tap, it's also the tap button on your keyboard is also auto-fill the rest of it. So that may or may not be a good idea sometimes, especially when you rename some variables. Sometimes the top one may not be the one you want. So sometimes it gives you actually errors because the top choice may not be the choice you want. So. Okay, so for those who are new to programming language, the equal sign in programming language is not the mathematical equal sign. It really just means assignment. So when we say x equals 3 to 10, that's just assign a list of integer to x. In fact, we can actually say x equal x times 2, that's also okay. It's basically assign x times 2 back to x, or basically replace the old value. So it's, and in that case, actually, R, this arrow plus hyphen, that may be a better way to intuitively understand what this means. It's actually basically means we operate x double the value of every element in the x vector and then assign it back to x. So it does look like the equal sign is not as intuitive as this less than plus, which is basically an arrow, look like an arrow. So that's basically the same thing as the equal sign. And R is extremely popular in data science. One reason is very good at visualization. In fact, there are so many packages now specialized in visualization that many of them I don't even know how to use it. But even the base package can do some very informative visualization. So in this case, we just do a scatter plot. Oh, I don't think I have. So I do not remember whether I have. In fact, I know I have not run a previous chunk. So I'm going to say run everything. I'm going to say run all the chunk above. Okay. And if you forgot where it is, this arrow up and down arrow going to take you to the place I have been. So here, yes, this is the chunk I have been. So we have the x value there. Apparently is 6a something. So I'm going to assign x plus 4 as y, and then I will plot y is tilde sign over x. This is basically say by default say y is my vertical x, well, it's my horizontal one, and just plot. So if I just run the first plot x on y tilde x, this is the result. So. So, well, it is a straight line. So x is the horizontal one, y is the vertical one. So this is the, and now the main, that I basically put a title there. So this is plot of y tilde x. So, and if we flip this plot y tilde x, let's just switch the axis. So there. So now I have two plots. The first one is y tilde x. The second one is x tilde y. And in this case, the x now is the vertical axis. And the y now is the horizontal one. So it's actually pretty convenient. So plot y tilde x, plot x tilde y. By default, this is a scatter plot. So, and we can also change the symbols. And so the symbol of that is something called PCH. And there are a lot of options. In fact, I never remember. And then it's probably not necessary to remember all of them anyway. So the way I trying to find out is the way they try to find out is I just plot them out with say PCH equal x, and then see. Well, then you will see the 1 is this the open circle, 2 is the open triangle, and then the plus sign, and then this x sign, diamond, the different triangle, right? So. So. And this is, so when I try to do the plot, I just do this. In fact, if you really want to find out, if I say 30, well, you see, this actually goes all the way seem to be to 25. Yeah, it's just different different ways of doing a plot. Okay, so I think one of the 19 is a popular choice. And 19 is just a solid dark circle. 16 is also, but 16 looks like it's a bit smaller. So 16, 19, 15, those are some of the popular choices. Yeah. Oh, you can actually see 26, 27, 28, 30, those actually are not available. So apparently only goes to 25th. So I don't really remember this, except 16, 19. That's the two I often use. So, and the first one is the open circle. So, and there are also ways you can specify a list of number, customized number. In this case, R use something called C parentheses. So this will be C.1, 0.3, 135, and that's just a vector of numbers with first one is 0.1, 0.3, 135, something. And then the second one is a list of number W equals C1357. If I run, well, if I go back to my, so I finish the plotting. There. Oh, I think this is supposed to be a table of content, but because I forgot to specify vector, because I forgot to put a space there, so it actually didn't generate a table of content. So let me redo that. Okay, so now it's back. So specify table of content. So X is that, W is 3510. Where's the one? Oh, I see. Sorry, this is X426, so that will be 3510. X2 will be what? 0.3. X2 is 0.3. That's correct. 1 is 0.1, 2 is 0.3. And we can actually also pick not just 1 or 2. We can pick the first, fifth, and second. So the first will be 0.1, fifth will be 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the second will be 0.3. There. I don't know why it's R use C, but the way I remember this, maybe C can be considered as the representation for what concatenation or container. Anyhow, and this is just the syntax of R to specify a vector. Concatenation. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, someone actually double checked. It means concatenation. So yeah, it's actually seems to be intuitive. That's how I remember C concatenate. So okay. So in the next example, we just say plotting y tilde x with the PC edge symbol of 19. And in this case, we use a log transformation of x. And this actually looks, yeah, a bit prettier than the just open circle, I guess. Yeah. So at least in publication, this will make the data more visible. So I think in many of the publication, you will see the solid dot more often than the open circles. So because it's visually, it's more obvious, I guess. And R can also specify colors. So in this case, we add some colors: red, light blue, blue. Oh, I see. Those are just basically the school color of the university. Red, I think, is Tuskegee. Light blue, that's the Spelman. This blue is West Virginia University. Gold is the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. So, okay. So we specify 4 numbers, and y is also 4 numbers. If we plot it, so there, and that's the red about Tuskegee color. Is that the light blue? It looks like light blue. That's the Spellman colors. It's also called Spellman blue, I think they call it. This will be the regular blue. That will be the West Virginia University School color. It's gold. That's the UT Chattanooga school color. So, and so this we plot tilde y tilde x. Color equal my colors. PCH means the shape of the symbol is solid field color symbol we use. So this is the exercise of the very simple usage of R and R Markdown. It looks like we are right on schedule. Are we? Let's see. Let's look at our schedule again. It's probably a good time for a break. So, oh well, we are right on schedule. Simple exercise. So there are also recorded a video from previous years. There. So, good. Can people turn their camera on so we can have a group picture? So, so I'm going to stop my screen sharing. Can we take a, let me, how do we do this? And can people turn their camera on so we can take a group picture? How do I, remove those without the camera? I saw there's a way say do not show. Well, I'm going to just take a picture when people are. Some people don't have a camera. Okay, that's fine. I'll just take all of it. Okay, I guess 13. One more. Oh, can someone come back? 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay, thank you. I'll see you. According to our schedule, we have a 10 minutes break, then we come back. It's good to see everyone though. So, I'm going to stop the video recording as well. So.